Hello everyone. In this video we will discuss about dynamic partition. So it is another technique what we are following under memory partitioning of the memory management scheme. So here we don't have any fixed partition in the memory. All the partitions whatever we have are set to be the variable one, which is nothing but dynamically we can divide the memory into several sections in order to hold the incoming process. So here we have the first section will be allotted for the operating system. So the size whatever we have given, which is nothing but 8 MB, and the remaining the entire partition of the memory will be given for storing the incoming process. Based on the process size, we need to divide the partition, and we are just allotting that memory for the process. So if you look at this, the very first process which has the size that is 20 MB, so we are just allotting according to the size. So it is whatever the memory which is enough to fit that process, we are just dividing accordingly. And the next one, second process has been stored according to their size, so it requires actually 14 MB. So according to that we are allotting, so the remaining MB whatever we have available, which is nothing but 22. And the third process has been allotted based on its size, and even then we have some remaining space left free in this memory. But if the fourth process is allotting, but we cannot allot memory for the fourth process, because the remaining space whatever we have which is lesser than the size of the fourth process, what we are doing, we are removing any one of the process which is already allocated. So here we need to check which process to swap out. So taking that decision is again by the operating system. It will check whether any of the process that were not in ready or running state. So if the process are not in ready or in running state, that particular process will be swapped out from the memory, and the new process can be swapped in into the memory. So that is what we are doing here. So P2 is not in ready or running state, so we are just swapping out the process P2 and we are swapping in this P4 process. And even then if you look at this, here the space whatever we have is 14 MB, but the size of the process P4 is only 8 MB. So the remaining which is already partitioned, this particular partition is already we created, right? We just gave this partition for the process P2 because the process P2 size is 14. But now this process P4 is not fit into that particular partition, because its size is lesser than the partition. So even though after allotting the space for the process P4, we have some more space or empty, left free in that same partition. And what we are doing here, we cannot allot any other partition here, because only if it is equal to the process size one, or if it is lesser than this partition size, we can hold it. So what happens here again, the process P2, if say for example if it is already was in blocked state, so if it is not in ready or running state, then we can swap out. If it was in blocked state, and after some time it may change it to the ready state, so at that time we need to swap in the same process to the main memory. So for that we are swapping out the first process, that is P1, and afterwards we are swapping in the P2 process, because its size which we can store only in the first partition. So that is what we are doing. And after holding the P2 process, again some part of the memory belongs to that same partition will be left free, right? So here also we are just getting a small hole, and here also we are just getting a small hole. So whenever you are just doing the swapping operation, and whatever the new process we are just storing into the main memory of one of the partition which does not fit it correctly into that partition, which means it is not said to be the tightly fit. So what happens there, we are just getting some small holes in all those partitions. So because of the small hole, so if you get more number of small holes in the memory, so what we are getting here, so it just leads to a problem of external fragmentation. So already we discussed about the internal fragmentation in case of fixed partition, and we are getting the external fragmentation in dynamic partition. So in order to overcome all these issues, we are just going with the compaction technique. So this compaction is a method in order to move all the small empty holes to one side, or to one to move to one part of the memory, and all the allocated space that were moved to another part of the memory. So that is what compaction. So we have to move to the bottom of the memory all these small holes. So this is what compaction, so that we can avoid this external fragmentation. So if you move and make it as a big hole, then again we can implement the dynamic partition of that big hole in order to hold several process. So this is what compaction. But even then, if you go with this compaction technique, it is somewhat more time consuming process for the programmer. So because we need to move all those, we need to find out which are all the small holes that were available. So searching all the small holes and afterwards moving all the small holes to one side is said to be a big task. So it is a time consuming. So instead of going to this compaction method, so we are just going to another methodology, is nothing but placement algorithm. So how we are assigning memory for the incoming process. So based on some of the techniques we can follow, so instead of this compaction we can follow all these techniques. So here we have three technique. First one is best fit, first fit, and the next fit, it is also said to be the worst fit. In some textbook it is given as a worst fit, in some textbook it is given as a next fit. So I'm just following two textbook for this operating system, so like Silbert's as well as William Stallings, and one more book also I will refer, Tannenbaum. So I mostly refer Silbert's and Tannenbaum. So Tannenbaum is good for understanding the concept clearly, because they will be giving more real life examples. And in William Stallings also it is easy to understand the concept. So here, uh, best fit, first fit, and the next fit or worst fit. So how we are going to insert the process into the memory according to these techniques, so we will discuss now. So if you look at this diagram, so what happens here? So here we have the memory, which is divided into that is actually divided dynamically, right? So which is divided, and some of the partition has been allocated already. Now you want to insert any of the process into the memory. So according to the first fit, so what is that technique? If you follow that particular technique, you can insert the process. So you need to search what are all the available partition from the very beginning of from top of the memory to the bottom, right? So you need to search, so what are all the available partition from the top of the memory. So if you find any memory that holds that can hold the incoming process, suppose if your process size is 4 megabyte, and if you find any memory, I mean partition size, which is enough to fit into the memory, I mean fit in, fit hold that particular process, that is what first fit. So if you look at this, the very first partition, whatever we are getting, that size is 12 MB. So even though if it is 12 MB, we can hold it, because that is the first empty partition which we are getting to fix that part, I mean to store that process. So we are just using that kind of partition that is what first fit. And if you go and check it for best fit, it will search the partition which is very which has the space enough to hold that incoming process. So which means if the process size is 4 MB means, so it will search the partition whichever it is very tightly close to that size of the process. If the partition has 6 or 5 or even 4 itself, so if you get that kind of partition, then it will use that partition in order to store this process. So here we have 6 MB of partition which is left free. So we can use that for storing that process which has size that is 4 MB, and it is what best fit. So if you go and check it with the next fit is nothing but, so from the last allocated block, we need to search out what are all the empty space we have. So we will be searching only at the bottom of the memory, because we are not searching, searching has not been done from the top of the memory, top section. So we are just searching after the last allocated block. Say for example, if it is this partition is said to be the last allocated for partition, which means after this you need to search which are all the partition that were available to hold the process. Suppose if you get the process, I mean if you get this partition which has the size 14 MB, then it will use that particular partition to hold the process which has the size 4 MB, right? So even though it is not producing the effective result, so even though it is allocating some process to the in the partition, so that is what next effect. So it will not search from the top section of the memory, it will search only from the last allocated partition. So from that it will keep on searching, and whichever the a partition it is just getting to hold that process, it will allocate it. It will not find whether it is a close to that process, it will not do that kind of operation. So among these three techniques, which is the more efficient one? Best fit. So best fit is the more efficient, because we will not get this kind of issues like external fragmentation, and we are not no need of going to the compaction and all if you use this best fit technique. So if you go with the first fit, it will be very easy to implement, because whichever the partition you are finding at very first, so we can hold it, so no need of checking the condition whether it is tightly close to that process or not. So it is very easy to easy to use, but it is not providing that much efficient result. So coming to the next fit or worst fit, it is again, it is not producing the efficiency at all. So it will produce only the inefficient result, because it keeps on searching only from the last allocated block. So whenever you don't find any of the partition to hold that process, then the process has to wait. According to this technique, the process cannot get the partition as much as I mean as soon as possible. So the process has to wait. So this will not produce, this is the worst category, so this will not produce the efficient result. So these things are to be followed to avoid the compaction technique in case of dynamic partitioning. Thank you.